name is Ruckus. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, and share. 10-8. Hey. How's everybody doing? Okay, today, I was just going to talk a little bit today as my first weekly schedule of live streams. But I'm going to bring LA on today, and we're going to talk about this knucklehead. This is Oscar Solis. He was let out of prison in Indiana on parole in January. He moved to Florida, actually to the county that I worked in. And the other day, last week, he killed a Uber Eats driver, 59-year-old Uber Eats driver. Killed him, chopped him up, and put him in trash bags. We'll go over the whole thing. This guy's a piece of work, though. But he's 6'4", 315 pounds. He's a big boy. Shares the same birthday as I do, February 26th. So he must be crazy. But this guy, I don't know what's going on with Indiana, because while he was in prison in Indiana, he stabbed somebody and he assaulted correctional staff. So I don't understand how they're going to let him out on parole when he's doing shit like that, you know. But let's see, we got Mac Pigeon, Cleo, Lakeside Justice, Callie, Steffa, Sweet Caroline, Jill. Hey, Jill, how are you? See if I skip by somebody. Tina, Pat's girl. How could I miss her? Kingdom. How are you, ma'am? Lynn. Purdue. Locksmith Jeremy. What's good? JQ. I like that Air Force picture. Polly. How are you, ma'am? Danger Dave. What's good? Patricia. How are you? All right. Let me get, instead of doing this romper room stuff, let me get LA in here. And we'll talk about this rock star for a minute. LA, what's good?
How dare you make the star of the show wait, sir?
Well, do you want to sit there while I say hi to everybody?
How dare you make the star of the show
Yeah.
wait? What's wrong with you? Don't you ever do that again?
What do you mean, what's wrong with me?
Make that star wait. I'm a star over here.
Locksmith Jeremy said that picture looked like my brother-in-law.
I heard y'all had the same birthday. You kept that little secret, didn't you?
Yes, I did. yes, I did.
Everybody, everybody give Ruckus a hand clap. He got monetized, folks, so we should see them super chats coming in. Don't hold back for this. You don't have.
Oh, wait a minute. I got this.
Yes, Ruckus got monetized.
How you doing? How you doing?
It's because of me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. How you
It's because of me. It's because of me he got monetized, folks.
Yeah, you stupid.
I'm the one. Everybody want to use me.
Nobody's using you.
Yeah, technically you are, sir, but that's fine.
No, that's not fine. I wouldn't do that to you, man. I wouldn't use you.
Yeah, you would. Let's go. Let's get to the story. Let's go to your brother.
Okay. All right. I'm going to play a little video, and this is actually Chris Naco, the sheriff of Pasco County, talking about this case. I'll put that video on instead of watching LA's rude ass smoke on my live, but that's all right.
Did you put my link in the chat?
He'll put lipstick on here in a minute. No, I have good wrenches, man. They'll do it.
Apparently not. I didn't see you do anything yet. They haven't done anything. They worse than my minds.
All right. Let me put this thing on. This is Sheriff Naco. I'll pause it every now and again if anybody has any questions. I'll try and keep up with the chat.
Back. So everybody good?
We are sure.
Can you hear that all right, LA?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good. All right. Good afternoon. First and foremost, our job is to protect the family right now. The dignity of this case, we want to, dignity for the family, dignity of the victim, we want to make sure we protect that I'm not going to get into how gruesome this case was.
Hey, whoever you're
You know,
texting with, tell them I said hello.
This will live on for infamy.
Right?
This family
Is
have
your
to live
mother.
with this. And so to
My
them,
brother's
our
dead,
prayers are
man.
with you. As you said, our victim
Long
advocates
distance
are
phone
with
call.
you. They will stay with you. Whenever you need them, just call them up. They do an outstanding job. To the detectives, to the forensics unit, the ME, everybody who was involved in this investigation, I want to thank them personally because it was a horrible scene for them out there for several days.
Deb, thank you. The first ever super chat on my channel. Thank you so much.
It was tough. And for the neighborhood that had to have, with us being out there, I know it's a lot on you too. So I just want to get that out there because these are just a gruesome case and this is horrible. And I'll get a little into it further, but it's just one of those things you can never answer the why. And that's what I feel horrible for the family for. So our victim was an Uber Eats and DoorDash driver. I mean, you watch the video, he was a guy just like everybody else, just trying to make a living for his family. And on April 19th at 2:30 p.m., he had dropped his wife off and he started doing his deliveries. His wife and him were communicating via text.
Thank you, Joe.
At around 6:43, she sent him a text. He responds back and says, yeah, this is basically my last one. I'll be home soon. And he was right around the corner from their house.
Damn.
At 7:13, she sends a message, but there was no response back. So
Hold on. Can you pause it real quick?
April 19th into the
So how close to his house was the crime scene? It was
2
literally
blocks.
right around. What?
2
So the guy.
blocks.
So the guy lived down the street from him, basically.
Yeah, Moog Road is like a main road.
Okay.
But a lot of the main roads in Florida have houses on each side of them. But he lived on a side street just down the street from this house. So, yeah, a couple blocks.
What
as
kind
the
of
crow
neighborhood
flies.
was it? Was it
Decent.
a safe neighborhood?
Yeah, decent. Yeah. It's right on Moog Road.
Wow.
You know?
Dude, I didn't know that. It's funny how things happen, right? You kind of feel sort of safe in your own neighborhood, right? I know, at least I do. I'm safer per se. So a lot of times you let your guard down when you get closer to your home. So imagine you doing deliveries in your own neighborhood and you get killed literally right down the street from your house, man.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it is crazy. And he just texted his wife, "Hey, I'm almost done with the last one." He dropped her off at 2:30 at the house. "Hey, I'm going to do some deliveries, make some extra money. I'll be back later." And he texted her, said, "Hey, I'm doing this one last delivery and I'll be home."
Wow.
And that's it. She started texting him after that with no response. And let's listen to the rest of this. It'll fill you in on a little bit more.
Okay.
But we'll get into it in the PC. It breaks it all down.
20th, she reports him missing. Our patrol goes out. They start doing the investigation. Wasn't a few hours later, they hand it off to the missing persons unit. Our missing persons unit then takes over the case. They actually, later that morning, our missing person unit reached out to Uber Eats, and they were able to provide us some information and his last known GPS coordinates. We posted this information on our social media, hospitals, fire rescue, FHP, databases. We kept reaching out to find out.
What up, Sleuth?
Could he just been missing? Did something happen? That was he in a crash? So we're just trying to figure those things out. The GPS showed that he had gone. His last known location was 3438 Moog Road, which is down Holiday. Detectives went to the house. Walked around it. There was nothing really suspicious on out there. Nobody answered the door. And so there's actually a body of water across the street. They looked over there to see if maybe something happened. There was no evidence of anything going on. But we kept following up on leads. On April 21st, we actually go back to the house at 3438 Moog Road. At that time, we were able to make contact with the roommate of the suspect. The roommate was able to provide us video.
Okay, now just to touch base. This guy was in prison in Indiana. His dad leased this house. He's renting this house along with this other guy and his wife and small child. So there was a master suite that his dad had, and then the husband and wife and child had the other 2 bedrooms and used that bathroom. But the dad never lived there. He did it for the sole purpose of his son getting it in there when he got out of prison. And he scared the shit out of these 2 roommates.
So it was a sublease, basically.
Right.
So
right.
did the dad lease the whole house, or he just leased that one specific part?
Yeah, the dad and the tenant went in it together. He didn't
and he didn't
sublease it
tell
to
him,
the tenant. Yeah,
and he didn't tell him.
didn't
Wow,
tell him, and they were
piece of
scared,
shit.
petrified of this guy. He's 6'4", 315,
That's a piece of shit. Dad. I mean,
tattoos
come
all
on.
over his head. Well, if you listen, Sheriff Naco, and I trust this guy implicitly. He's a really good guy. He says he feels bad for the dad. The dad didn't know what was going on.
Well, reason why I'm saying the dad is a piece of shit because if he really cared for your son, you would have let him stay with you.
Right.
If you,
What's up,
yeah,
CJ?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's watch a little bit more. I just wanted to share that with you, that the guy, his wife, and their small child were petrified of this guy.
Yeah.
And you can actually see the victim walking up to the house to deliver food, but the video cuts off at that point. You can also see that that was around 6:45 when the video cuts off, or 6:55, right there when he was walking up to that house. You actually see on the video that the following day, so that was the 19th when he delivered the food. You actually see on the following day, on the 20th, the suspect, Oscar Solis, was carrying trash bags with another individual, and you can see them carrying these trash bags around the side of the house. So our detectives did the right thing. They asked for permission to go through the trash bags, to go into trash bags. There was several of them, and unfortunately what we found inside of some of those trash bags was human remains.
Freak.
So at that point,
Thank you, Laura.
we held the scene as a crime scene. We were waiting for Emmy, the medical examiner, to come out, forensics came out. But we were also able to make an arrest on Oscar Solis. He was arrested at that point.
See, he called himself. He's such a cop. ME, medical examiner. But he had to. We were waiting on the ME, the medical examiner, had said so the people knew what he was talking about.
Cop
For
jargon.
failure to register in Pasco County as a felon and violation of parole. He had been in parole in Indiana. He had just moved down to Florida back in January. And so you'll hear his
I'll show you on
background
the
as a very
PC
violent
hybrid.
individual.
Big guy.
But we were able to make an arrest for those charges immediately. And so we knew at that point there was no public threat out there as to what happened. But for us, and this is what takes so long. And I wish we were like those TV shows where we can solve everything in an hour. Well, we can't. Our job at that point,
Right.
first and foremost, is to make sure that there's no more public threat. We took care of that. Our second issue at that point was
I'll go
we
over
had to
that,
identify
CJK.
the victim, and so the following day we were able to do that. But the other part too is we have to build a case, because I know for many people, everybody wants things done immediately. I just want a solution. I want this done absolutely like within seconds, because we're used to that with Google. But the problem is it doesn't work that way in the real world with cases. And if we as a sheriff's office don't do everything we can from a forensic standpoint, from an investigative standpoint, hand it off to the state attorney's office, and they're not able to bring justice to the family, then we failed through the pipeline. So we can't fail. We have to do everything. And if it may be slow, it's slow, but it's going to be done right. And so that's the one thing we just want to make sure everybody
That's my
understands out there,
boy.
is that we couldn't give those updates because we did not want to hinder the investigation. After we were able to identify the victim and notify the family and have victim advocates out there, we were kept through the process. And then last evening, on April 24th, we arrested Oscar Solis for felony murder in conjunction with a robbery, because we were able to find the victim's wedding ring and car keys in another room in the house, outside from where we believe the homicide occurred. And so, a couple of things real quick. Talk about Oscar Solis. This guy's he's affiliated with MS-13 from Indiana. Like I said, he just came down here from Indiana like a month or two ago, 2 months or 3 months ago in January.
Indiana's lost their goddamn mind, hadn't they?
His charges before, he had been battery, burglary, possession of stolen auto parts, drugs, resisting law enforcement, other burglary charges, home detention placement, burglary, battery on detention staff. He supposedly stabbed somebody several times while he was in prison in Indiana.
Okay, so while he's in prison, right, on a 10-year sentence that got cut down to 4, I think, he got in a little trouble, so they extended it a little bit. But they still cut him loose on parole. He's on parole right now. I got some stuff coming from Indiana, from the Department of Corrections, with all his paperwork and stuff. But, this is ridiculous.
So did Indiana even know where he was at?
Well, I think that the procedure Indiana uses is when you put him out on parole, okay, where are you going? They really don't want him in the state. They want him gone, man. So if he said Florida, they contact Florida DOC and let them know he's coming to Florida. Then it's up to him, I guess, to let Pasco County know that he's living there.
Yeah, but shouldn't he have a parole officer or something?
Yes. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet how that all works because they got to transfer the parole. I don't know how long that takes.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
Somebody dropped the ball.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this. But it's not Pasco County's fault. You know how the hell they know who this cat is? You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And he was a security at a strip joint at a gentleman's club. Go figure.
So you're talking about a very violent individual that Indiana released and sent down to Florida. He came down to Florida. They released him on parole. And so unfortunately, now we have a hardworking guy, a loving husband, who's no longer with us because this violent individual killed him. Our call for action we're asking right now is that there are several pictures, these individuals, and I'll tell you, if you're one of those individuals or you're the parent or guardian of one of these kids.
Thank you, Stefa. I appreciate your support. I really do. You're awesome.
It looks like they're young adults. They're not in trouble. We just need to know who they are. Can they come forward information? They were actually in the house about an hour before the homicide occurred.
So these kids, teenagers. Now, the word is that he's a gamer. This guy, Oscar, played games. Go figure. He's only 30. But that's the word is they were able to find out who these kids were and they talked to them. But it was just over video games. They were in there playing video games with them. Neighborhood kids.
So if anybody has any information, please come forward.
I don't know. And I asked my son. He won't tell me.
As I said, you're not in trouble. We just need to keep building this case because we in Florida will bring justice for this family. We'll ensure,
yes,
we
will.
The state attorney's office that, the family realizes that we did everything we can.
You retired.
Because this victim, I go back
this
to
is Jordan. He's helping me out with the Indiana paperwork. Good guy.
Us as a command staff, we're consistent. We get these updates on the homicide. We get information. And as I start the press conference, and I'll tell you this.
You're stupid.
I kept asking, what's the connection? Because unfortunately, a lot of times in homicides, there's a connection there. Sadly, we know domestic violence is horrible. We know that, there's drug addiction, drug dealers that will shoot each other over drugs and.
Thank you, Jinx. I appreciate that. Gifted a membership.
I'm a member.
Look at Jinx. Look at Jinx go. That's my girl there.
Did you thank me for being a member?
You ain't a member. Yeah, you ain't a member. You don't remember. That's what you're problem.
Sir, are you going to apologize to me?
Okay, listen. This is a serious show, so let's watch it.
Beefs over gang or other issues or business partners that are mad at each other. There's something that you can say, okay, there was passion, there was anger. This was absolutely a horrific crime of passion. This person, you always say the word evil, but this is demonic. This individual what he did was demonic.
He made a mistake though using those words.
Well, I know what he meant, but the press don't.
Press. Yeah. Yep, they're gonna run with that, saying it was satanic, anti-Semitic, everything they can run with. But what he's talking about is this guy chopped him up with a machete. So that's what makes it
they're being disingenuous. I know you hate me using that word, but they know what he's mean. And for them to do that's low, man. That's fucking low.
I agree.
But at the same time, we couldn't answer the question why. What the relationship? There doesn't appear to be any relationship. All it appears is that there was a gentleman who was working, was doing his last delivery of the night, and this person killed him for no reason. And he took him away from his family. So please, if there's anybody out there, any other information, please provide it to us, get it to us. We're building up this case. We're working with the state attorney's office, but we're going to ensure that in Florida there will be justice. So with that being said, any questions?
Let me just take a second here real quick to give shout outs to a few people. Evil CJ's in the house. Evil's got a great show. You guys need to subscribe to him. He's fantastic. And of course, Sleuth. I watched Sleuth today. Sleuth's on it. Sleuth's fantastic. You guys that are not subbed to him, I can't imagine anybody is not, but if you're not, you need to go check him out. And last but not least, LA Wilks. Go check out his channel. He's a 17-year veteran in Philadelphia police, and he's got a great sense of humor on top of that. So he's fun to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great guy.
roommate know who they are at all?
I'm not sure. I left it with the detectives. If you guys know if they.
It's Roger Middleton, Middleton. I'm a detective in the Major Crimes Unit. The roommate does not know any of the children, but says there's several children that come in and out of the home often.
Do you expect, are you concerned that those children are alive or not?
There's no indication anything other than they just were
What
visiting the home.
kind of question is that?
The media's stupid.
His father lives locally, and we've been in contact with him.
Were he the suspect and the homeowner the only two that lived in that home, or do they rent, or who would those kids be visiting?
It's unclear. It's where we're wanting to locate them and speak with them.
But is the homeowner, is he the homeowner, or are they both renters?
The home is a rental.
So are there any potential charges against the roommate or any other individual who may have known anything or participated in this?
Well, that's we're going to keep building the case, but does this appear anything in the detectives found out that anybody knew anything? Even the other individual who's taking the trash bags out,
Hey, Cassie.
somebody who the father had sent over to help him. You know, the father had somebody that would go over to drive him places, would take him places. So that was the person, just somebody's like, hey, I'll help you move the trash. The roommate actually made a comment to the detective saying, I was surprised the guy actually took trash out. Like, guy finally did something. The other information is that the suspect may be a gamer. So maybe that's why these other kids are over there. They're hanging out at the video games, not sure. But these are other things. This is why we need to figure out some of the information. He was, how old was he? 30 years of age.
And we don't know how old these kids are, who they are.
They could be 18, they could be adults, they could be minor. That's what we don't know.
Is there any relationship between the two roommates as to why this guy comes from Indiana and ends up in that house?
Negative, Grizz, negative.
So the house is leased to the roommate and this gentleman's father. And when he came down from Indiana, his father moved out and allowed Oscar to move in.
And the roommate, he wasn't home at the time of any of this. Did he say where he was at, or?
He was not home, and it was corroborated.
Yeah, this asshole's still on parole. Still.
Are you guys aware of any MS-13 activity that this man was affiliated with other members of MS-13 in the area?
I don't think, nothing? No.
And with him not having
He locked up, right? You keep on saying he's still on parole.
Yeah, but he's technically still on parole from Indiana, even though he's arrested on a new charge. That parole still sticks. If he gets arrested and somehow he gets out of this one, he's going to go back to Indiana for parole violation. So no matter what happens with this case, he's never going to see the streets again in Florida. They'll send him back on parole violation.
People that aren't registering themselves when they move states.
You should know all this.
So that you can register with the Department of Corrections in the state of Florida, but you also have to register as a felon within the county. So he was not registered in the county as a felon.
Correct, but what's the policy in place to, follow up that people are adhering to the law?
I think he meant to say cheap, but he put
it's a
cheap.
difficult thing.
Stupid
People,
ass.
I mean, we're a big state, we're a large state. People can register with DOC, but we don't know if they're in the county. So it's a very difficult task, and it's one of those things that it could be through a traffic stop, it could be through.
Jordan, this arrest violated his parole, so I guarantee it won't end. He's got a VOP now in Indiana, guarantee you.
But, an arrest like this, interaction like this, that's when we find out that they didn't register.
Like a crime has to be committed before unless he's registered.
Thank you
Or
for
an
spelling it
interaction.
right, Chris.
He could have went missing, and when we found him, we looked him up and said, "Oh, he failed to register in Florida."
What's it been like working with Uber Eats and different delivery companies
Stupid.
like this? We've seen a lot of violent incidents happening to delivery drivers, and how are those relationships?
So when the sergeant was able to notify his liaison with Uber Eats, they were very quick to give us the information. I'd say it could have been Uber Eats, it could have been DoorDash, it could have been any delivery. I don't think this guy
He looks like he got one of the metal flies on his lip.
cared.
I mean,
This guy
He
is
asking
supposedly.
so many dumbass questions that they got him saying stupid shit right now. It could have been Uber Eats, it could have been DoorDash.
Well, he doesn't want to say if you use the other company's names, they get upset because now they're printed in the same article with a murder, so they get upset. They don't like
That's
that.
why I
shit.
say he should just leave. Just say, listen, no more. I don't have anything else to say.
No, he's really cool, man. He really is. He's a great guy to work for. He got there after I left. My kid works for him, but I knew him. I knew who he was.
The information I got, I said a lot of this information is so preliminary. The father ordered food for the son. He could have ordered anybody.
The father had no idea what his son was planning.
Oh my God.
I feel bad for the dad. I mean, it seems like indications that the dad was just, he had a son that he was basically helping throughout the way. And the, information is he just ordered food. And so that could have been, I don't want to go through every company because then they'll get all upset, but it could have been any company out there that it could have been delivery for. And that would have been the person. But that's what I said, this is just a random person. It could have been anybody. It could have been a member of religious faith that was knocking on doors.
What up, Willie D?
And this person just yanked him in and killed him.
Sheriff, you mentioned that you didn't want to go into the graphic details of this, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But how could the roommate not know that something had occurred that was that bad inside?
Now, we'll go over this with the PCA, but that's a great question. How'd the roommate not know?
I'm not much want to speak on it, still
Yeah.
ongoing, but he wasn't home at the time, and when he came home, it was night, and then the detectives were out the next day, and he had actually been with his family away from the home.
Now, this is Detective Middleton, by the way, the guy with the fantastic haircut. Good-looking man.
You think that was a good question?
He's the lead detective. What was the question?
I said, why would you think that was a good question? He answered it earlier.
No, you're talking about the roommate? I'll show you when we get to the PCA. I'll explain it to you.
No,
unlike you, I set things up.
No. You said that the press asked a good question.
Yeah, how did the roommate not know that something was going on? That's what he asked. That's a good question.
No, it's not, because he answered it earlier. He said the roommates weren't there. It was a stupid fucking question.
But they were. Now, some of the media take the time to read the PC, so they understand a little bit what's going on. They still ask stupid questions, but this guy was a little bit informed. He read the PC, so that's why he asked that question.
Okay, sir.
Doing right now?
Pay attention. You'll learn something today.
I know our victim advocates are working with
yo,
them.
jitterbug.
I don't know exactly.
Not from you.
I can only imagine. I can't imagine. I was like, but that way I can't imagine what they're going through. The heartache, the heartbreak, the fact that, she's texting him, she's nervous. And honestly, you're talking about caring. I mean, she kept texting him, and then she notified immediately, hey, what's going on? Where's the, I mean, she did everything she could. Evil just came. I mean, this person was just demonic.
That's it. Just an evil person,
You
man.
feel horrible for that wife. And just pray for him.
Most of these delivery services, ring the doorbell and leave it at the door. Is there any indication as to why there was an interaction between the two, and did he forcibly bring them into the home?
So the camera shuts off. So that's the sad part, is that when you watch the video and the detectives, it says part of the investigation, but when you watch that video, he's literally standing there just waiting, and he probably was thinking to himself, am I at the right house? Because nobody was answering. But then the camera goes off. And we don't have the video of him getting taken inside.
It's a motion detected camera, so it only comes on and records for so long. So that's aggravating.
It's part of the investigation. I mean, we all have common sense. We can all believe and have our understanding, but until it's 100%, this is exactly why. Look, you all can say those things because in court it doesn't matter, but if I say something, that could be brought up and I can't say it.
Did the detective find any blood in the house at all?
You won't be disappointed. Check cash, David. Deb's great.
There was a substantial amount of evidence inside, but it's still being wrapped up and completed.
Speaking of evidence, when you guys said you went out there, one of the times you also looked at a body of water, like a pond or something. Did you find anything in there?
They were out the day prior on the 20th.
This is stupid questioning.
As far as the missing person investigation, just based on the GPS location of the victim.
For sure, but did you find anything in
No.
the water? You did not find anything.
Not that day.
Oh my God. You didn't find anything.
Now,
For sure.
watch. They ask him again. He's like, look, man.
There's nothing evidence that will lead to that, but the question about the body of water, I'll go back to that. So basically what they were looking for was tire marks, something that would have shown that somebody entered the water. A lot of times with missing persons calls, we have to, anytime there's a body of water, you constantly are looking, whether it's a person with dementia, a child, somebody suicidal, you always are looking around if there are any signs. So until there's actually evidence to say, okay, further, then we really send people in that water to start searching, but there was zero evidence of anything that
What
somebody was
about
in.
the victim's car? Was he there at the property?
Who?
The victim's car?
The victim's
The
car.
victim's car, yeah. Was it?
It was located abandoned just like a third of a mile.
Right down
away
the
from-
street.
From the home.
Is it ever too soon for you to call the sheriff's office with concerns of someone missing?
No, I mean, that's one thing. I can imagine, because of police shows, everybody thinks that our biggest calls for service are, robberies,
Yeah.
homicide, all these stuff. A lot of our calls for service are missing people. That's the majority. That's why we consistently post them out there. And so we tell people, hey, look, we're going to do everything we can because we know that's
They got the
somebody's loved
biggest
one.
dog unit in
Why do we have
Florida.
one of the largest canine units? It's because
There
our
you go.
dogs are consistently out there searching for missing people. Our bloodhounds, our live-fire dogs, our cadaver dogs, we're consistently out there looking. And so
SRB, this is in Pasco County, Florida, about 45 minutes north of Tampa. It's actually the county that I'm retired from. It's the county that I worked in for the sheriff's office.
I was about to.
that's one of the biggest calls that I know we as a sheriff
You what?
I was going to ask you. It can go. I was going to ask you about your missing person reports, but I wrote it down. I'll ask you after the video's over.
All right.
office, that's one of our larger calls. I can imagine for all law enforcement, it's people go missing. And so how do you find them? What do we do? So that's why we take it extremely seriously. But as I go back to that point, it's never too early. From our standpoint as investigations, we will say, hey, look, these are the steps that we usually take. Whether somebody ran away, whether it's an adult, what we can and can't do. But at the same time, as we know that's somebody's loved one. And so when it being somebody's loved one, it could be one of our loved ones. And so we take it extremely seriously. But
Ooh,
we have
somebody
our
just gave
procedures
me
in
a
place,
thumbs
we have our plans
down.
in place. And so it could be that kid that ran away 100 times, or it could be that person that went missing the first time. We take them all very
Somebody's
seriously.
mad.
You mentioned that the keys were found inside the house, the keys to the car.
The keys. Yeah, the keys. Yeah, I'm sorry, the keys to the car. I knew his ring was, but I knew the keys were, yes.
But yet the car was found a third of a mile or so away. Do we know who may have moved that car? Do we suspect that it could be?
Still reviewing, still under investigation. To say the neighbors have any surveillance cameras, but I probably imagine we went to every neighbor about 12 times already. But
I'm going to
if
skip to
anything,
the
let us
next
know.
part.
Was the vic-
The murder of an Uber Eats driver in Pasco County.
Now, this is the dude getting arrested, backing up to the driveway there. That's him. Look how big that son of a bitch is.
Deputies say this man you see right here, Oscar
6'4",
Solis, is a
315
known
pounds.
MS-13 gang member with a violent criminal history. And they say they were able to track down two people who were caught on camera leaving his house an hour before the murder. Sheriff Chris Naco says the Uber Eats driver, Randall Cook, texted his wife to let her know that he was wrapping up deliveries and would be home soon. When he stopped replying, she reported him missing. The investigation brought detectives to the house you see right here from Sky 10. Home surveillance video also showed Cook arriving with the order, and then the camera cuts off. When it comes back on, detectives say Oscar Solis is seen taking trash bags outside.
Unfortunately, what we found inside of some of those trash bags was human remains.
Sheriff Chris Naco called the murder a crime of passion. We're now working to find out what these two people you see right here told deputies. Solis remains in jail on felony murder. Sheriff Chris Naco described it as a horrific crime of passion.
They keep saying that, don't they?
Yeah. Crazy,
Why
though,
would-
isn't it?
Why do you think they call it a crime of passion? This case specifically.
Well, that's specifically what I asked my son, and he specifically told me to go outside and play hide and go fuck myself. He's not telling me.
Yeah,
So-
because that's very odd, right? With this type of case, I don't think people really know what crime of passion means.
Now-
I don't know if you want to explain it to them or not.
Yeah, crime of passion is usually a domestic related, where you get in such a heated argument. It's not premeditated most of the time, but it's spontaneous. Crime of passion. It's usually horrific. You go way overboard. If you stab somebody 50, 60 times, right away they know that's somebody that the victim knew.
Usually, though, and another clue is usually if somebody gets stabbed. I don't know about if you feel this way, but usually if a man gets stabbed and there's a crime of passion, usually his wife, because women usually stab and men usually shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
you're right. You're right. Which is surprising. You wouldn't think women would want to get that up close and personal, but
yeah, they stab the fuck out of you quick.
yeah.
Well, my question was with the missing persons. I knew at the time in Philly, if it was an adult, especially an adult male, we wouldn't really take a missing person report. I know times have changed, and we pretty much do everyone. Was that the case where you were at, or did y'all always take everybody as a missing person report?
It's different now. You weren't a missing person if you were an adult for I think it was 72 hours, and you had to have good cause. I mean, the family had to really say, "Hey, this doesn't happen," because people
Yeah.
in Florida, it's a transient state. People just leave all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So, but now things have changed. They got right on this. That woman was adamant that no, he's not missing. Something happened to him. He wouldn't just do this.
Yes.
But I'm going to go over the PCA now. When you guys from Indiana see this, you're going to be amazed. The PCAs that you're used to seeing aren't quite like this one. Now, one thing though, it's hard for me. I'll try and keep up with the chat, but it's hard for me to do this screen share and do
I
that.
keep an eye on it for you. Don't worry about it.
You're a good man. That's why I have
Yeah.
you on here, because you
Well,
ugly as hell.
plus I'm entertaining. I make everybody want to watch your boring ass show.
Yeah. Well, if you wake up, you all broke down.
Oh, shut the fuck up and play the goddamn.
All right, I'm putting it on, man. Take it easy. All right. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
All right. And what I'll do is I'll scroll through this for you guys. So you can see, let me move this out of the way. You can see that he's in the Land O'Lakes jail in Pasco County. It's right in the middle of the county on 441. But you see, he's third, same birthday as mine. Unbelievable. But they got him as a white male. They should have Hispanic there. But 226.93, 30 years old, 6'4", 315 pounds.
Big boy.
That's a real big boy. And they wrote down a couple of his tattoos. I can't see anybody writing down all that dude's tattoos. That's crazy. And the address, and they even have his phone number. They didn't redact his phone number. But I got this right from the sheriff's office today.
I don't think anybody's gonna call him.
No, I guess you're right. All right. Now let's go through this, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with the PCAs, how they differ. Now this starts off. The first thing they do, the CJIS number is his number. So that's Middleton. That's the detective's number. Now he's saying he spent 25 hours at $26. So it's $650. That is what this guy's going to owe. So if somebody puts commissary money in on him, half of it is going to go to the it's going to go to that just to piss him off.
To the detective?
No, to pay back the sheriff's office. If there's court costs, those also. If someone puts $100 on your commissary, $50 of that goes towards your court costs. They know they're never going to recoup it, ever. But
they're just going to be dicks.
They do that right, just to aggravate the shit out of them, which is fine by me. Now, if you guys can see here, it says PC exists for the charges, and it says judge's signature. Can you see where I highlighted that?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it showed up on there. I can't see it. But yeah, he was working in St. Pete at a gentleman's club. He was a bouncer or a security, whatever. But that's it. That's the little box right there that matters. When they go to their first appearance, the judge will put his initials in the date there saying that, yes, he finds PC after he read all of this. Okay, so let's see what this guy has to say. On April 22nd, 2023, at approximately 12:38 hours, your affiant received a phone call in reference to the discovery of apparent human remains located in black garbage bags along the side of a residence in Holiday, 3438 Moog Road. The residence was identified as a location of interest in a missing person investigation. Pasco County Sheriff's Office, case number, blah, blah, blah. I don't have that, but I'm going to get it. Your affiant responded to the location and met with Detective P. Reagan, who provided the following synopsis. So Reagan wrote this synopsis. Middleton just read it, signed off, and agreed to it. And the ones that are redacted that I know, I'll just say who it is, On April 19, 2023, at approximately 21:39 hours, 59-year-old Cook, his last name's Cook, was reported missing by his wife, was last seen by his wife after he dropped her off at their shared home, located right down the street in Holiday, at around 2:30. The husband informed the wife that he was going to work Uber Eats delivery for the evening. Last communication with the wife through text was at 18:43 hours, at which he responded that he was nearly finished for the evening and would be headed home. The wife attempted to reach the husband several times afterwards. However, the messages were shown on her cell phone as not delivered. So his phone was off. They must have iPhones because they show when they're delivered or not. On April 20th, so the next day, at 2023 at approximately 0840 hours, Sergeant Lewis assumed the investigation as the missing persons detective. So not even 24 hours, LA, and they're doing a missing persons investigation on an adult. That's pretty damn good.
It really is.
It's really good. Sergeant Lewis assumed the investigation. Sergeant Lewis contacted Uber to obtain the GPS coordinates, of his last location. The investigation revealed that his last reported location was near the residence of 3438 Moog Road, Holiday. Sergeant Lewis relayed the location information was obtained from the Uber and appeared accurate to the extent of showing his vehicle passing the residence, making a U-turn a few houses away and returning back to 3438 Moog Road location. A phone ping was requested by Sergeant Lewis, which was met with negative result, appearing as if the phone was turned off. Sergeant Lewis relayed no activity was noted at any of the Mr. Cook's social media accounts, and he had no information as to where he could have went. Let me take a look at the chat real quick, since you ain't telling me anything about the chat.
I mean, Jinx is just putting everybody links down. She's doing her man. Listen, read the thing with you.
Okay.
Can't see shit.
All
read
right.
it.
All right. You ain't scared to talk to me like that?
No, sir. You a fucking 59-year-old bald head man. Fucking scared of you. I ain't 6'4", 320
All right, man,
like
be quiet.
this.
Go ahead on. Be quiet. On April 20th, 2023, at approximately 11:30 hours, Detective Baker attempted to contact at 3438 Moog Road, and no one answered the door. Detective Baker walked around the property and did not observe the victim's vehicle in the area. On April 21st, 2023, at approximately 1100 hours, Detective Reagan, Detective Sequeira, Detective Carson, Detective Sergeant Lewis responded to the area of 3438 Moog Road in an effort to locate the victim. They knocked at the residence front door and they did not receive any answer. They were able to make phone contact with one of the roommates. It is the roommate, a resident of the home. The resident responded to the home to speak with the detectives. The resident advised detectives that the home had video surveillance and allowed them to review it on his cell phone. The video surveillance was reviewed, which depicted the victim arriving at the front door of the residence with a red DoorDash bag on 4/19/23 at 18:56 hours. The victim was wearing the clothing described by his wife. The video surveillance was motion activated and only recorded small intervals of a time around 30 seconds. The video stopped recording as the victim was standing at the front door holding a red delivery bag in his hands. The roommate allowed detectives to review additional home camera on the back of the residence as well. The rear camera captured two males carrying black trash bags around the back of the house on April 20, 2023 at 0900 hours. The camera was mounted on the southwest corner of the home facing east. The two males were observed carrying trash bags west towards the west side of the home and turning north as they were walking between the neighboring residence, 3432 Moog Road. The trash bag carried by one of the males appeared heavy as he was dragging it while walking. While detectives were in the location, they observed several trash bags along the side of the residence near two large trash receptacle bins located at the northwest side of the home. consistent with the area the males were walking towards. Detective Sakari obtained written consent from the roommate to open the trash bags. Can you believe that? Had to get written consent. If they put him out front, he wouldn't need consent, would they?
No, that's public domain.
Yeah, once you put it out front. Detective Sakaris opened the first trash bag, which appeared to be that of possible human remains. Detective Sakaris then opened the second bag and observed identifiable human remains. So the first one could have been human remains, but not identifiable. So like organs and stuff like that.
He wasn't a smart criminal, was he?
No, they're not smart. I guarantee if you went to his cell right now, he'd tell you exactly what he did. The POSs, but he's not talking to detectives, though, that's for sure. During the briefing, your affiant learned the exterior of the residence was secured where the crime scene was established. The interior of the home was not entered due to the roommate not being present. The roommate voluntarily responded back to the residence and met with Detective Carson outside. During the interview with Detective Carson, the roommate advised he had a roommate, Oscar Solis Jr., this piece of work. Advised Oscar Jr. worked night shift and he was not sure if he was home. The roommate further relayed that Oscar Jr. just moved into the residence approximately 3 months ago after he was paroled from prison in Indiana. Thank you, Indiana.
Never go there. Never going there.
Driving around. I'm going to do like Steve does. Go through Vegas.
Go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I go to China before I go to fucking Indiana. Go all the way to China before I drive that piece of shit place.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The roommate's original lease agreement listed Oscar Jr.'s father, Oscar Sr., as his roommate. However, Oscar Sr. never stayed at the home. He stayed with a girlfriend. So him and this guy leased the house, but the father never lived there, ever.
He's a piece of shit, man. I know you're saying you don't blame the father. He's a piece of shit for that.
I'm saying that I believe Naco. Naco said that the father has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Your affiant then spoke with spoke with the roommate at 17 hours. The roommate informed your affiant. I hate using that word affiant too, don't you?
Yeah, people don't know what it means either.
You can say me. Inform me, but you have to put your affiant. That he and his girlfriend, along with their child, live at the home with Oscar Jr. Oscar Jr. moved into the residence approximately 2 to 3 months ago. The roommate and his family left the home to stay at a hotel on 4/20/23 because they did not feel comfortable staying with Oscar Jr.
Exactly.
Right. The roommate relayed to your affiant that he went to work on 4/19/2023 and left his wife and child at the home. He got out of work around 1800 hours and drove straight home, which took approximately 5 minutes. So this is an hour before the murder. Okay. And just prior to this, the two teens left the house. So his wife and his child were there. So I'm sure they were questioning, did you see these teens? They probably had something to do with identifying them. All right. When he got home, he had to leave for his second job, which he started at 1900 hours in Pinellas County off of Elmerton Road. His girlfriend and his child accompanied him to his second job. The roommate could not recall if Oscar Jr. was home, but advised no one else was at the residence when he got home, and Oscar Jr.'s door was shut, which was typical. No one else arrived at the residence when he left for work, around 18:15 hours. The roommate explained that he and his family returned home from his second job around 23:30 hours. When he got home, he attempted to open the main garage door, but it was not functioning. He used his key to unlock the front door. However, it was locked from inside with a separate door latch. Ding, 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 ding. It would lead straight to the whole hotel right there. I wouldn't even went in that house. The roommate retrieved the hideaway key. Let me see. Which was lost my spot. Retrieved the hideaway key near the air conditioner to open the locked side garage door. The roommate and his wife entered the garage and went into the front door to unlock it, letting his wife in. The roommate went to his room to watch television, and the internet was not working. The roommate located the router unplugged, and in doing so observed a red substance around the router. The roommate relayed the router was located on the floor in the shared living dining room area of the home. The roommate plugged the router back in and went back to his room. Around 02:15 hours, he and his girlfriend heard a loud noise coming from Oscar Jr.'s bedroom, which was on the east side of the home. The roommate advised your affiant that he woke up, that Jr.'s bedroom was on the east side, that when he woke up around 0800 and decided to pack their stuff and move into a hotel.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. The roommate exited his room, and he was in the common area of the home. He observed a Latino male in a white hat exit Oscar Jr.'s bedroom. He was not sure who the male was, but assumed it was Oscar Jr.'s driver.
Mm-hmm.
The roommate stated Oscar Jr. did not have a car, so his father hired a driver to drive him to work and run errands. The roommate and his family packed their belongings and left the residence. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Whoop, too big. Good Lord, I'm not that blind. The roommate noted the driver's vehicle as being in the driveway. The roommate described the car as a silver sedan and stated it was the same vehicle always used to pick up Oscar Jr. The male with the white hat was sitting in the driver's seat. The roommate left the residence around 0830 hours and returned a short time later to gather a few additional belongings. When he returned, the driver's vehicle was gone. The roommate provided Detective Toner with images he took of tools he had in the garage. In the background of the pictures, the sedan was observed. The roommate identified the sedan as the driver's vehicle. I don't know why they redacted that. Who gives a shit what kind of car it is? Yet, and they got it on video when they're arresting this cat too, right? Your affiant reviewed the backyard video surveillance from 3438 Moog Road on 4/20/2023 at 0900 hours. I don't know who that redacted is. Identified Oscar Jr. in the video. So the roommate identified Oscar Jr. in the video and advised the second male was the same he believed to be his driver in the white hat. Okay.
His driver.
Yeah, he had a driver. Well, he's MS-13, bro. After speaking with the roommate, your affiant contacted Oscar Sr., via phone at 16:24 hours. Oscar Sr. would not provide a contact number for his son and relayed he was not sure if he was home. However, he would call him and have him call your affiant back.
Would not, huh?
Would not.
I'd like the father to fuck up too.
Yeah. Hey, Chris said he's okay.
Yeah, okay.
During this time, your affiant learned Oscar Jr. had not registered as a felon in Pasco County after he was released from prison in Indiana in January of 2023. So right there, they've got PC to detain him. Right? So, and that's exactly what they did. At approximately 16:12 hours, your affiant received a phone call from Detective Jay Hollister advising Oscar Jr. was calling. Oscar Jr. provided a callback number of blah, 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 blah. Your affiant contacted Oscar Jr. via phone at 16:24 hours. Oscar Jr. answered the phone and stated he was home, sleeping. Oscar Jr. agreed to step out of the residence. After exiting residence, Oscar Jr. was taken into custody and placed under arrest without incident in reference to failure to register as a felon within Pasco County Pasco Sheriff's Office case number, blah, 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 blah.
So they just used that to hold him.
Yeah.
So they can put the murder case on him.
Yeah, just so they could snatch him up. Oscar Jr. was transported to the Pasco Sheriff's Office district. Now, here's the thing, too. Because he's on parole, if he did by chance register, right, arresting him at that point would violate his parole. Yeah. And it wouldn't matter. Even if they were wrong, his parole is violated. He gets shipped back to Indiana. So they have to be careful with that kind of stuff. Oscar Jr. was transported to the Pasco County Sheriff's District 1 office to be interviewed. Oscar confirmed he lived at residence with the roommate and the family. Oscar stated he worked night shift at the Omnia Blue Gentlemen's Club in St. Petersburg. Oscar Jr. consented to a buccal swab, DNA, cheek swab, photographs, and fingernail scrapings. As Oscar Jr. was being photographed, several small cuts and abrasions were observed on both of his hands. Oscar Jr. also had a small scratch on his left bicep near his elbow. Oscar Jr. was then transported to the Land O'Lakes jail without incident. Your affiant then returned to the area of 3438 Moog Road. Your affiant learned that the victim's vehicle was located just west of the intersection of Landell Drive and Edenwood Drive, which was approximately 0.3 miles away from the listed address. The vehicle was unlocked, parked along the south side of the road, and facing east. Detective E. Baca spoke with the neighbors who advised the vehicle had been observed parked in the area on 4/19/2023 around 1900 to 2000 hours. Consent to search the vehicle was obtained. During the subsequent search of the vehicle, where do you hear this? A black trash bag was located in the trunk. Inside the trash bag were numerous apparent blood-soaked rags and paper towels. Now, this is the victim's car. That this cat killed the dude and then went and got rid of his car, along with a red DoorDash bag similar to the one the victim was observed carrying on video surveillance. Also located within the trash bag was what appeared to be a time card, punched out receipt from Omnia Blue with Oscar Solis's name on it, listing the job type as security. This dumb motherfucker left his time card in the trash bag.
I mean, I just say he's a dumb fucking criminal. This whole thing is just crazy.
I mean, this is a sad situation, but it just tells you how dumb these people
stupid he is, right?
Yeah, stupid is right. Your affiant then was able to retrieve additional surveillance footage from 3438 next door. In reviewing the video, Oscar Jr. was observed in the backyard via the rear camera on 4/19/2023 at 17:01 and 17:05 hours. So like just prior to the food getting there. Oscar Jr. was observed wearing a black t-shirt, gray sweatpants, and white sandals with black socks. Detective W. Davis. Now look, I think I counted a total of 7 or maybe even 8 detectives got involved with this case within 2 days. That's pretty good. What are you eating? What you got? Juju beads?
A little something called Mind Your Goddamn Business, sir.
Oh, let me get one.
Keep on reading. Behave.
Listen, man. I'm trying. I'm all right. I'm back quiet. Detective W. Davis obtained a search warrant for 3438 Moog Road. The search warrant was executed on the residence on 4/21/23 at 16:55 hours for processing. 5 black trash bags were located on the side of the residence, 2 of which contained human remains found by Detective Seckers. 4 of the 5 trash bags were collected by medical examiner's office without being opened, as to preserve the potential evidence inside to be examined in a more controlled environment. See, that's the way you do things. They shouldn't open up the first 2. I mean, you look in there, oh, you can tell by the smell what's in there, right?
I mean, it depends on how long they've been out there. They was only out there for a couple of days, right?
Dude, it's Florida. It's hotter than hell. Had them big metal flies all on it.
Dude, could you imagine? The detectives went up there and probably landed on everybody's lip. They probably all lost their fucking mind.
Yeah. It's crazy. At approximately
animals ain't take that shit away, to be honest with you, right?
It's a pretty congested area, but yes, you're right. Cats, raccoons. There's raccoons around there. At approximately 2300 hours, your affiant conducted a walkthrough of 3438 Moog Road. Oscar Jr.'s bedroom was noted as being the primary bedroom in the east side of the home with an attached in-suite bathroom. So he had the master bedroom. In the open shared dining room and living room area, apparent blood spatter was located near the kitchen table and floor nearby, including the area that housed the router. Apparent blood spatter was also located on the couch and a small entertainment center. The master bedroom had apparent blood inside the doorway. In the primary bathroom, the sink had what appeared to be remnants of apparent blood around the counter area. A silver metal ring was located on the sink, which was later confirmed to belong to the victim. The toilet also had what appeared to be dried blood on the inside of the toilet bowl.
This motherfucker's stupid as hell. Jesus Christ.
And I'm not laughing because this is a funny case. I'm laughing because this guy's stupid. He made their job easy.
Imagine if a cat would have walked through the neighborhood with a fucking finger in his got. No,
yeah, yeah, it would happen.
A damn dog with a hand.
Yeah, all that. The shower area had what appeared to be dried blood on the tile. Also inside the shower was a red mop with a white cloth mop head. The mop head had what appeared to be dried blood on it. The primary bedroom was confirmed to only be used by Oscar Jr. Detective S. Gutierrez. Is it Gutierrez or Gutierrez? Gutierrez. Relayed to your affiant that Husky brand trash bags, similar to the ones the bags located along the side of the residence, were located in the closet inside the primary bedroom. A key fob for the victim's car, later confirmed that it belonged to the victim's vehicle, was located on Oscar's dresser sitting atop of his wallet. Your affiant learned Detective Toner interviewed the guy's wife, the roommate's wife, relayed she was home all day on 4/19/23, but stayed in her room and only left to walk her daughter to the bus stop around 9 o'clock. She advised she did not see Oscar in the house on that date. However, his door was shut and his light was on. She said Oscar Jr. lived in the primary bedroom and had no one else in the home, and no one else in the home access to it. No one else in the home accessed it. Okay. Roommate recalled arriving home just after 18 hours from his first job. They packed bathing suits and small items to leave with him for his second job. She advised when they left the home with the child around 15 hours, no one else was inside the residence and no other vehicles were in the driveway. She confirmed Oscar Jr.'s room was a primary bedroom and no one else had lived in the house. They arrived home from the second job around 23:30 and no vehicles were in the driveway. The home was locked and the garage door was not functioning. The roommate gained access inside by using a hidden key. We're going over that.
The chat is threatening you, sir.
Why?
Gris said, "I dare you to hit me with another commercial." Turn that crap off.
What commercial?
Apparently, you got the thing set up with your lives where they do commercials during your lives.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. I'll fix it.
Jinx and Grizz, so you keep on your chat, keep on getting hit with these commercials, you son of a bitch. You just want to milk everybody, huh?
No, I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out.
Milking
Can
everybody.
I shut them off? Can I shut them off?
Yeah, you can do the commercials at the end, apparently. But I mean, I'm not monetized. I don't fucking know. I just know they cussing you out, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to help me with the chat, not fuck with me about the chat. I'm trying to read something.
Well, it's taking you forever, you slow son of a bitch.
Well, do you want me to read it fast? I'm almost done. Shut up. Go ahead on. On 4/22/2023 at approximately 0700 hours, your affiant responded to the medical examiner's office with Detective Jay Hansen to examine the contacts of the 4 collected trash bags from 3438 Moog Road. Each trash bag was opened and reviewed individually. Inside the trash bags were human remains. Inside one of the trash bags, gray sweatpants were located, similar to those observed on Oscar Jr. in the video. The sweatpants were rolled up on the bottom and stuffed inside were human remains. Also located within the bags were several 4X shirts, to include a black t-shirt similar to the one worn by Oscar Jr. and the black socks, all covered in apparent human blood. Clothing matching the description of clothing worn by the victim was located in the trash bags. The victim was located with numerous apparent puncture holes. Let me see. Yeah, I guess it's not clothing, it's him. The victim was located with numerous apparent puncture wounds near the collar, lower left side, and rib area. The human remains were positively identified as the victim.
Now I see why they call it a crime of passion, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Now listen to this part. Contact was made with Detective Gutierrez, who was on who was on scene at 3438 Moog Road. Detective Gutierrez was able to locate the fifth black bag inside the trash can. Inside that trash bag was a black and blue Coleman cooler with a receipt from True Alive stuck to the top of it. The name listed on the receipt was Oscar Solis Jr.
He is one dumb fucking crazy. He did everything but leave his birth certificate there with his fucking initials on the back saying I did it. Like, how stupid is this guy?
Inside the cooler were additional human remains. Now listen to this. That driver, he wasn't having it. Your affiant was notified that the driver, that the whatever was located in the driver was identified as yada yada yada. Detective Toner interviewed the driver, who confirmed it was him in the video with Oscar Jr. on 420 and Oscar Jr. in the video from 419. Part of his duties were to drive Oscar around. The driver relayed to Detective Toner he arrived at 3438 Moog Road around 0700 hours to pick up Oscar Jr. up for work. When he arrived, Oscar Jr. asked for trash bags. The driver stated he brought Oscar Jr. trash bags to the front door and returned to his vehicle. Now listen, he got there at 7 in the morning. And when he goes in, he said, man, I need trash bags. Okay, let me get some. I got them in my car. Who's he trying to bullshit, man? Who's he trying to bullshit? A short time later, Oscar Jr. asked him to assist in carrying out trash bags. The driver relayed to Detective Toner that when he went inside the house, he mentioned to Oscar that it smelled bad. He assisted Oscar Jr. in carrying out trash bags to the side of the house. Oscar Jr. initially asked him to put the bags inside his vehicle to take them to a construction dumpster at their job site. However, the driver did not have room in his vehicle, so he left him alongside of the house in that hot-ass weather.
This is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. But, you know, at least he told him, hell no, you ain't putting that in my car.
So the driver was there while Oscar fucking bagged the body up.
It appears, yeah. He brought him trash bags and then he helped him carry them out. He probably helped him bag them up too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he'll be arrested soon. On 4/24/2023 at 14:28 hours, an interview is conducted with Oscar Jr. Oscar Sr., Oscar Sr. relayed he spoke with his son about the food delivery, and Oscar Jr. confirmed he met the driver at the door and received the food. Oscar Sr. also had text messages from Oscar Jr. requesting thick trash bags for items he cleaned up around the house. So he's trying to get it popped.
He probably broke when he was putting the body in the bag. Could you imagine the legs sticking out of the bottom of them cheap-ass trash bags? He the one that got the dollar store bags. Now he said, damn, I got to get the big hefty ones. So now he had to go to Home Depot and get the construction bags because this dumb fuck. Folks, I'm not laughing at the crime. The crime is sad, but you got to understand this is the dumbest. And I still blame him. I lock the father up. I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I would lock the father up. I would lock the father up. No, I'm serious. Imagine you signing the lease with this fucking guy, and he disappears, and then his 6'4", 300-pound son with tattoos on his face say, "I'm living here now." Wait the fucking minute.
Yeah, but dude, they're crazy. MS-13's crazy, man.
I would
not leave my wife and child there. That's for sure.
And then I'm locking the fucking roommate up because he keep leaving his wife and kids there with this fucking psychopath. I lock the driver up because he bringing trash bags and loading the body up. I'm like everybody going to jail but the kid. The only one that's not going to jail is the baby. The wife going to jail. The roommate going to jail.
Everybody
going to jail. Everybody. The fucking the dad's girlfriend going to jail too because she with this son of a bitch.
Dude, they could use something like this for trash bag commercials.
Good enough to stick a body in. Got them leg, them broke out the bottom of the bag. He said, "Oh shit, he's not gonna work." Got them cats breaking into the bag, stealing fingers and shit.
Based on the above investigation, your affiant is able to verify that Oscar Jr. was captured on video surveillance in his backyard, 3438 Moog Road on 4/19/2023 at 17:05 hours. Oscar Jr. was wearing black t-shirt and gray sweatpants. It was apparent that Oscar Jr. remained home alone until 4/19/2023 at 18:56 hours, when the victim was captured in the front door surveillance delivering food in the red DoorDash bag. At 19:30 hours, the victim stopped communicating with his wife and his cell phone stopped updating GPS information to Uber Eats, appearing to have been turned off. At 20:12 hours, the victim's vehicle was moved from Oscar Jr.'s driveway and was abandoned 0.3 miles away. When the victim's abandoned vehicle was recovered, a time card receipt with Oscar Jr.'s name was found in the trunk along with the red DoorDash bag.
Oh my God.
Was carrying, which covered apparent blood. The keys to the victim's vehicle were later found on top of Oscar Jr.'s wallet in Oscar Jr.'s bedroom. The vehicle interior was sprayed with unknown substance in an apparent attempt to conceal evidence.
Bleach.
Fabuloso. He's MS13. Yeah, Fabuloso.
He couldn't even afford the bleach. He went right in there and got the rose. He probably got the. You think he got the red kind?
Purple.
He got the red kind.
He got the purple. He got the purple. Fabuloso.
Yeah. Oh, we so fucked.
If I had to smell that shit one more time.
Every time you go in a Puerto Rican house, it smells like Fabuloso and goddamn tacos.
And ass. On 4/20/2023 at 5:46 hours, 05:46 hours, Oscar Jr. contacted his driver and asked him to bring heavy-duty garbage bags to his residence. On 4/20/23 at 7 hours, the driver dropped off the heavy-duty garbage bags at the front door of Oscar Jr.'s residence. Now he's acting like DoorDash. Drop that shit and go.
This driver, one stupid son of a bitch.
He's going down too. Yeah, he's going down too. Oscar Jr. then asked the driver to put the garbage bags in his car and dispose of them at a construction dumpster in Pinellas County, to which the driver declined. At 0900 hours, Oscar Jr. and the driver are captured on the backyard video surveillance as they are carrying the bags from the back porch to the west side of the residence, where Detective Sakaris later discovered the bags contained the victim's remains. Some of the victim's remains were stuffed inside sweatpants that appeared to be the same sweatpants Oscar Jr. was wearing in the backyard video surveillance before the victim's arrival.
You got to be kidding.
A receipt with Oscar Jr.'s name was located on top of the cooler that contained human remains. Probable cause was established. Can you imagine that? They established probable cause.
After all that, huh?
To show Oscar Jr. unlawfully murdered the victim by means of unknown homicidal violence while engaged in commission of a robbery, to include, but not limited to, forcefully removing a ring from the victim's ring finger, obtaining the vehicle key without consent. Now, if you go up here, it says right here, lethal cutting, but there was no weapon seized. So for anything that big, I'm here to tell you, I've dealt with MS-13. I've seen MS-13 stuff. It's
You say machete, right?
Yeah, it's a machete. That's what they use. That's their weapon of choice.
He probably threw it in that lake. He probably threw it in that lake right across the street from him.
Look at V. Marie. I like purple Fabuloso.
She must be a Puerto Rican. That's what they probably were looking for in that fucking lake, to be honest with you. Because that's where he threw it at. I mean, looking at his bad fucking decisions, he did everything but put up a sign and say, "I did it."
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the dad? Now, I trust Chris Naco, the sheriff. I do. But what do you think about the dad?
I think
he ordered the food for his son.
I think the dad is a piece of shit. And I think the dad knew something was up. If you look at all the signs of what the son did, the dad covered for his son tremendously every time, even to the fact where he was suspecting his son of a crime, and he wouldn't even give them his son's phone number. So what's the likelihood of him not telling his dad, I fucked up? I think his dad knew.
I don't know. I don't know.
His dad knew.
I would have to see the interview.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But think about it like this, Ruck. his dad didn't want him staying with him because if he did, he would have let him stay with him and his girlfriend.
Mhm.
So what his dad did was he rented out a house illegally because then he basically subleased the room to his son, knowing he wasn't going to stay there at all. So his dad is a piece of shit. His dad is a stone cold piece of shit, and I hope he get locked up too, because his dad was the cause of this.
He could be. Yeah, he could be. Now, do you think maybe Naco is just saying that to keep the dad on the side?
No, sir.
Okay. Because
No,
Chris
sir.
Naco is pretty good, man. I'm here to tell you. He's pretty good. He's a good
So you
sheriff.
think he's just doing it just to so the dad won't run?
Yeah, I'm thinking if he was going to do something like that, because they came right out and asked him. The press asked him, and he's like, "No,
Yeah, he
I feel
wouldn't-
bad for the dad. The dad had no idea. He's totally
Yeah,
innocent in this whole thing."
He wouldn't tell them right away that the dad would be charged. But would you charge the dad with anything?
You can't if you don't have anything. What could you have? You can't charge him for being stupid. You can't
No,
charge
you
him for
definitely
having
can't.
an idiot son. Cold truth, total random stranger. And it
Okay.
appears that he tried to rob him, but he wouldn't give it up, so he snatched him in and killed him. Got a super chat from Winch. Thank you very much, Winch. I
Mama,
appreciate
thank you,
it.
Mama. Ruckus
For-
don't deserve it, so that come to me.
She put for a few bottles of purple Fabuloso. We need to
shit-
clean up the chat. Just saying.
That shit stinks so much.
Oh,
my
dude.
God.
And kids drink it by mistake because it looked like Kool-Aid.
That's racist, sir.
And they drink.
What I was about to say. That driver, okay, what do you think about the driver? That son of a bitch gotta go to jail.
Yeah.
How don't you know? First of all, he bagged the body up when you were there, sir. And then apparently the bags was breaking apart. So you had to go get some more bags. Like this dude, come on, man.
Now, would you know what it was if you was carrying bags out? Would you be even inquisitive? If I said, "Hey, LA, come over here and help me carry these bags out,"
You
you
know
try
it's
and pick the
blood.
first one up, you'd be like, "No, sir."
Dude,
No,
you know
sir.
it was blood all over the fucking place.
And it's stinking here. And it's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
And you know if it's like a foot or something in the bag, it's gonna feel weird. And would he just drag the bags outside? Sir, no. You going down too.
No handles.
Nothing.
No.
These fucking idiots trying to stick something in some Family Dollar bags.
Yeah. Dollar General. Yeah.
How do you feel about the roommate and the wife?
What do you mean?
Bad for them. I feel bad for them. I mean, they didn't know what they were getting
$50
themselves into.
super chat from Kay. Thank you so much, Kay. Giant pear
Damn.
character waving flags and turn around, making the buildings in front of them tremble. What does that mean?
What do you mean?
She's giving us some puzzles.
Kay, you sending big money to this bastard.
Don't
And
worry
he's not
about
splitting.
it. Me and Kay
He's not
go way
splitting it
back.
with me. He's not
Me-
splitting it with me, Kay. So that's
Me and Kay
I don't
go
like
way
that.
back, like a lazy boy.
Way back.
Kay's a
way
good
back.
girl. She's been in my Discord, I think, since day one.
Make sure y'all get a membership to Ruckus. I'm gonna be on. We got a schedule for every week, so you'll see me on here all the time.
Yeah, I really get some flavor. There wouldn't be all this cutting up if it was just me. I would have read that shit all boring, but since LA's here, I can tell him about his sorry ass.
So you don't want making fun of the trash bags. This dumb motherfucker left every clue for the cops. He didn't even try to conceal one fucking bit of it.
But it's from what it appears, right? Now they're calling it a passion because this guy got very angry and cut this guy all up, you know. But it was
That's
a
very
robbery.
specific.
His plan was to rob the guy.
I'm
You know?
curious about that because crime of passion. They don't never. I never heard them use crime of passion when it refers to a robbery and a homicide. I've never heard that before. So that leads me to believe they think. Well, they know it's something else going on beside that.
Look at
You
Check
think?
Cash David. He's stupid.
I'm gonna tell you right now, David. I'm gonna leave the house and call 911. There's some crazy behind old man in there. I seen a foot sticking out with a toe. He got to go.
You
got to go
snitched me
down.
out?
Oh man, quick! I seen an ankle. I seen an ankle over there. I don't know what's going on over there. I left the house.
Dude, I wouldn't be that stupid. Oh damn,
Nobody would be.
there's a foot hanging out. I can't show
You got
LA
to-
this. He'll lock
you
me
got
up.
to- goddamn foot. They see a toe sticking out. He just, I don't know what this is.
Yeah. Now, getting back to Indiana,
Dumbasses.
he's in prison. While he's in prison, he stabs up some other inmates, has problems. He assaults staff, and they still parole him. Now, you know why they did it. Okay, yeah, look, get your ass out of this state. Where you want to go, Florida? Go ahead. We'll call ahead for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kicked his ass out. Kicked his ass out.
Well, you worked the prison.
Yeah.
If something like that happens, wouldn't you normally just put him in PC, keep him there forever?
Well, they have ad seg. It's called special review. If you got an inmate that's problems like that, you put him in ad seg, where he's in confinement for his whole time there. And it usually, I'm not kidding you, man. These guys that get ad seg for special review, talking 3-4 years before they'll even consider letting them out.
Wow. And they let this son of a bitch out. He got out in January, folks, and went back to jail now in March. He committed a crime in March, and he just got out in January. Imagine that. January of 2023.
No, I've got some. Let me show you this. Hang on a second.
And now in March, he committed this crime.
And I'll tell you.
This is some of his paperwork from Indiana. Okay. So now this is an Indiana PC. Look. That's it. That's the court paperwork, 2 pages. Affidavit for probable cause. This is so tiny. Basically what this was that he got snitched out by the guy that he was with. Even back then, dude, 2011, he was 6'4", 290. That's a big cat, dude. That's a big cat.
Scary, man. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, but he was in Fort Wayne most of his time while he was in Indiana, was in Fort Wayne. And this is all, excuse me, I owe all of this paperwork to Jordan. He's in the chat. Good dude. He's helping me out a lot with the Indiana stuff. He's on it. But he was able to get me this stuff pretty quick. And this is FOIA request stuff. I just called him today, and he had this for me today. Guy's on it, man.
I got to get in contact with Jordan, man.
No, you ain't getting his information.
Well, sir, respectfully, sir, I don't have to go through you, motherfucker. I'm pretty sure he subbed to my page.
Why I gotta be a motherfucker? I mean, I could be all that, but why?
That's exactly why I would snitch you out if I saw a leg in your goddamn trash bag. You'd be going right to jail.
I wouldn't have no cheap ass trash bag.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
dude, I wouldn't have. I'd have them big cheap Walmart containers with the lid, with the snap lids.
This motherfucker had receipts with his name on it and everything. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? You think he committed a murder before?
Yes. I was talking to Jordan about that today. There's an unsolved case that he was being looked at. 2 people got murdered and stuff was stolen in the same kind of fashion. I don't know if they were stuffed in trash bags or anything. But this here was in 2011. So that it was for burglary, theft, possession of marijuana, all kinds of stuff, right? So here's what they gave him. Here's how they do in Indiana. So he gets all this stuff and he accepts a plea deal, right? And he's guilty of burglary, a Class B felony, and auto theft, a Class D felony. So he gets 10 years on count 1. 3 years of said sentence is ordered executed. Under the remainder of the 7 years is ordered suspended. So he got 10 years and he's only doing 3. And 1.5 years in count 2 and 1.5 years ordered executed. Said sentences will run concurrently, not consecutive, concurrently at the same time to each other. So he'd be placed on active adult probation for 4 years.
So he ain't even got to do the remainder of the 7 on probation.
Right. Now, this is not, because this is in 2011. So this would only go tops to 2016. Yes. So he must have been back in on something else. We're waiting on that. Jordan's getting with the DOC in
he Indiana. Got out in January of 2023. So he went back. he went back after the 2016 and did something else apparently, huh? So was he on parole when he got out in the and maybe
It
2016?
says he was probation. He got probation, not parole. So
So that means he probably violated probation. We guessing. I mean, not necessarily. I wonder how long the probation was.
yeah, it's out. I'm going to get all that information. Jordan's on that for me. He's fantastic, and I will if he. I'm not just going to give out his info. If he doesn't mind, I'll do it.
Well, sir, I
But he's
mean,
a
I
good
got my
guy.
own. I got my own people too. I don't need none of your people.
Who you got?
Respectfully, Jordan.
Who you got? Ain't nobody going to talk to you. You
It's
under
LA.
IA. You under
It's
IA
LA.
review. Ain't nobody
It's
talking
LA
to you.
Wilks. They'll talk to me. LA. I let them know. I throw my badge out there.
Hey, you stupid.
Unlike you, people like me. This is a sad case, man. Wow.
Now, where do you think this goes next? Because they're not done with it. They've got to figure out what's going on here. Why did he do this to this guy? Just a robbery gone bad?
No, that crime of passion tells you everything. Not everything, but it leads you to more questions. Have you ever dealt with a case where they call the a robbery and a homicide a crime of passion?
Mhm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
gang
never here.
related. Gang related. Yes.
Yeah, in Philly they don't call that here.
If it's an
Yeah.
initiation, they call it a crime of passion as well. Because you have to do it. So you have to do it, and you have to do it how they told you to do it to get into these gangs. But there's not a whole bunch of gang activity, thank God, in
Well, they definitely gonna
this area.
investigate. I think they definitely gonna still investigate the driver.
Oh,
I don't
he's
think
got a
they're
new
gonna let.
subscriber.
Thank you.
I'll put my Cash App for you so you can hit me that $5 for the new
Don't worry about
subscriber.
that. I sent it already. You didn't get it?
No, let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, who
Well,
this?
don't check it right now. Don't check
Yeah,
it right now.
who this? That's
It
what I'm gonna
take
get
3 days.
back.
It take 3 days for my Cash App to get to you. So
Right.
check it on Thursday.
Okay, so I've got this is a big to do in Pasco County, as you can imagine. They're going crazy down there.
I bet.
I'm going to find out some more information both from the county. I talked to the PIO and I talked to the booking sergeant. So I'll get some more information. Don't know, Mel. It's hard to say if it's premeditation. He
Yeah.
may have just decided to rob him when he got to the door. We're going to find all that out, though.
Yeah.
And
We'll find that out during the trial, basically. When they lay out the facts of the case.
look at
So
Mama.
it's not over.
She talk about, oh, only $5. You work cheap. That's all she gave me was $5. That's how I only, huh?
Mama been trolling all day. She was
Yeah, what's
trolling
up
me
with
in my
her?
chat.
What's up with her? What's she trying to do?
Mama been trolling all day. She keep on calling me glitzy. She trolling me all day. Go take your old ass to sleep, lady. You got somewhere to be.
No, dude, how can she sleep? It's never dark there.
I don't know.
I don't know how she sleep. And someone always building a deck around her damn house.
Yeah,
Would
I
she
never
live in a
seen
tree
it.
for it? I mean, how the
Mother
fuck they
s-
only working on her house always?
They building a house up so because she always got gang activity around her.
Yeah, she does. Old crackhead shooting out in front of her house.
Mhm.
Police, just let him finish. Just let him finish. They'll be done in a minute. We ain't gonna mess with him. But I'll get some more information. It may take a couple days from the DOC in Indiana. I'm not
Yeah, we
real
got
happy
some.
with that whole thing, though.
No. Stay out of Indiana, folks.
Yeah, yeah,
Stay out of
yeah,
fucking
Mel. I'm not
Indiana.
saying this was a gang initiation. I'm saying that some of them they do call it crimes of passion because of the way they tell them they have to kill the person. So it becomes personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your standard, though.
Yeah, that's sad, man. I feel so
Yeah,
bad for these people.
JJ, this
That's
just
sad.
happened last week, last Wednesday, 5 days ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to, that's the county that my son works in. So I texted him trying to get some information from him. He said, "Hell no, I'm not telling you nothing." He goes by the book, man.
God
Little
bless him. He
bastard.
better than us.
But dude, I'm telling you, I brought him in this world. I'll take him out, make another one looks just like him. He better tell me something.
We'll
He
say you're
goes,
60 years old. You're not making anything look just like him. Let's
dude,
be honest.
and you know what, too? He's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He's a big boy.
You find
I
your
wish I
legs
was big as
sticking
him
out.
just once.
Find your leg sticking out the side of a trash bag. Who this? Who
Oh,
this?
you stupid ass. You are stupid, man.
Yeah, I need Jesus.
Man, you do need Jesus. But all right, we've been going for an hour and a half. That's about all I can stand of your stupid ass.
Thank you for the subs. I finally got over 397. I've been stuck there for about a month. If y'all
You
don't
got
know,
400?
yeah, I got 403 now.
Okay.
So yeah, when I come over here, they don't, your subs don't really, they don't love me. When you come over my page, I get you over 1,000, but whatever, we'll get there. What the fuck was I about to say? Oh yeah, Ruckus and I have a bet, so I got to beat his time that he got to get monetized. So
You won't do it. You can't do it.
well, sir,
You
never
can't do
say I
it.
can't. I'll
Okay.
buy the motherfuckers just to
Well, we're
get there.
fixing to
But I
find
keep it.
out, ain't we? We're fixing to find
Yeah.
out. You got two
I,
more months.
I,
You got two more
we
months.
can't tell the time frame. Now you violating the bet.
What you
I never
talking
once
about?
said the time frame. I never once said the time
I
frame.
hope you get to 998.
Sir, I will buy those 2 subs. If I get to 998, I will buy 2 subs. You best believe that.
Dude,
I
I
will
want to
offer
see.
people.
I'm gonna use it like a poll, man. I want to see every vote. I'm gonna
Listen,
vet every single person that
I'm
that
gonna offer
subscribes.
people $100 just to win this small bet we got. Just to
Yeah,
win. I don't
you
give
gotta
a fuck
you
about
gotta you gotta pay $100 so you lose 20.
Yes, that's a fact.
Stupid
That's a
ass.
fact. I will do that.
Stupid
So
ass.
what day am I back here over here? This raggedy ass page channel?
All right, Jinx. I'll get rid of the commercials. I gotta figure out how though. If somebody knows how, please tell me.
Yeah,
Look,
he trying to
look at
listen.
Grizz talk about you had to get. I don't click those. I don't do anything. I
He
don't know how
definitely
the
did
hell.
it. Uncle Tom told him how to do it, folks. Don't believe this old liar.
No.
Yeah, don't believe this old liar. Grizz, he just want to milk y'all for every dime y'all got. So he throwing commercials in there so y'all can throw him extra super chats so he cut the commercials out. He ain't slick.
Yeah, Kay, hit me up in Discord. I'll look at that.
Yeah, thanks, Diamond Eyes. I really appreciate it. She always throwing me compliments. She always commenting and watching my videos. Thank you. Even Jinx,
She's very astute.
Yes. I don't know how to spell it, but I agree.
Oh, you see, Mama said the cool commercials is cool. They probably about trash bags.
What if it was some hefty commercials during this during this live stream?
And
Could you believe that
Fabuloso.
shit? Yeah. Would you believe that shit? I'd be like, oh my God, Google. Google has no conscience. Conscience at all, man.
Yeah, that's some
And
funny shit.
they probably do DoorDash commercials too, on the side. DoorDash, Fabuloso, and hefty commercials.
Oh, see, you can't get rid of them. Grizzly, you cheap ass. Get YouTube Premium. You don't have to watch no commercials. Raggedy.
Oh,
Up
that's
here
what I
trying to
got.
get a free membership, bitching about commercials. Not sending no cash apps, no nothing.
And Kay gifted 5 memberships, and she didn't even get Grizz one. They didn't even get the Grizz.
No,
he
Grizz
asked her
wasn't
for
here
one
yet.
free. Oh yeah, Grizz. They got gifted memberships, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed out.
Oh, you said Jinx an asshole?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I love Jinx. Jinx comment,
Jinx is a
we
good
do.
girl. But I want to thank you for coming on, brother. I think tomorrow night is a members only night, so that'll be you and I tomorrow night. We got the mid range at 6, and then the top tier at 7 with me. Me and LA can just go off.
Yeah, and then I'm doing my show after that, folks. So y'all can come right over to what the hell is Tuesdays with LA. So it's gonna be a good day for us tomorrow. I'm
Gonna be
streaming.
busy.
We putting the work in for y'all. I mean, I'm doing
What
all
do you
this
want to
right now
talk
to go
about
back to work.
tomorrow?
Damn sure ain't hefty bags. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
We'll figure it out.
Mm-mm.
We'll figure it
Okay.
out. I want to do background on this guy though. I'm curious to see everything that this cat.
I've got some
been
coming.
through.
It's
Yeah,
coming.
so
We're gonna get him.
and that fucking dad. I can't stand that dad. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a
that dad
piece
is
of shit.
that dad is a piece of shit, man.
We'll
So,
find out though. We'll find
yeah,
out.
we'll figure it out. All right, folks. Thanks for having me. And if y'all haven't subscribed, please go there. I gotta beat Ruckus. I can't let him win. I won't never hear the end of it.
He won't.
Never hear the end of it.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
folks.
Have a great
Yeah.
night. Thanks for coming by. Everybody that gave super chats, you're awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to
Do you want me
Evil
to stay in the
CJ.
back?
Huh?
You want me to stay in the back and wait for you?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm out. See ya.
Bye. My name is Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm 10-7.